Hello everyone, welcome to this week's commentary. My name is Juan Carlos Alvarez. So last week we did Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick, which was a masterpiece. Today we're going to do Raging Bull by Martin Scorsese, another masterpiece. So by the time that Martin Scorsese directed Raging Bull, he had already directed two other masterpieces, Mean Streets and Taxi Driver. But in this movie, I think, in my opinion, he takes it to the next step. I put Raging Bull right up there with one of my favorite movies of all time. I put it up there with Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind, Vertigo. I put it up there with just the classics. This film was edited by Thelma Schoonmaker, who won the Oscar, and it was written by Michael Chapman. The opening scenes of this movie, the opening shot, which introduces the credits, is my favorite opening scene of any movies I've ever seen. He shot it in black and white, the entire movie, because he didn't like the way that 60s and 70s movies were aging as far as the color saturation of the movies. So he wanted to do it in black and white because he wanted this to last forever. Interestingly enough, the home movies that he shot within the movie are in color. But look at the cinematography. He does it in slow motion. So look at the set. He puts him in a ring, because after all, he's a boxer. This is a movie about a boxer. It's not necessarily a boxing movie, but it's a movie about a boxer. So look at the ropes. The ropes, for me, I interpret this as a cage. He's an animal in a cage. So like I said before, this is not a boxing movie. There's only 9 minutes of footage concerning boxing in this movie. This is a movie about a man's life, his jealousies, his flaws, his foibles. This is a movie about his demons, how he conquers his demons. It took a lot of guts for Scorsese and De Niro to make this movie about a flawed man. It's not because it's not necessarily a sports movie, but the guts that they have to make this movie in a medium that's pretty much considered a money-making medium. If your movie flops, you won't get financing for the next movie. But he made the movie, and I mean Scorsese, that he wanted to make. De Niro and Joe Pesci's performance are, again, two of the greatest performances I've ever seen. There's a TV scene in this movie that Robert De Niro is trying to fix a TV and he's talking to Joe Pesci. And that is just, if you see that scene, the acting in that scene, and it's a lot of improvisation, is the greatest acting you probably will ever see. If you're a film student or if you want to be an actor one day, you see this film, you'll be convinced, I want to be an actor just because of these two performances. De Niro won the Oscar for Best Actor. I think Joe Pesci was robbed. The fight scenes in this movie are shot in the ring. So what a genius stroke to do that. You're inside the ring with these two animals, experiencing their punches, their pain. There's a great long scene in the film where De Niro is getting prepped for a fight, and it starts in the basement, and they take him all the way through the basement, up to the ring, and inside the ring, and that is just one continuous long take. And again, a master filmmaker. The quiet scenes in this movie are also brilliant. You can frame any of these scenes, stop the frame, and take a picture, and you could put any of those pictures up on your wall and make it beautiful art. That's how gorgeous this entire film is. And it is a movie about a man and his story and his relationship with his brother. It's a flawed man. But there's redemption in this movie. Redemption through age and through experience. And that is also, that's great storytelling. This is art at its highest form. This is perfection. And of course, this is 5 out of 5 stars. Please watch Raging Bull. Thank you for joining me for my commentary on Raging Bull. I appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you next week.